state you live in.
Okay, my name's Don Lowry. I'm from Tustin, California.
And how are you connected to the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States?
I am currently the nominations chair on the board of directors for Turner Syndrome Society.
And what does that entail?
That entails sifting through all the wonderful candidates for everybody who would like to serve the society. Last year I came on the board as the parent member at large.
Great. I assume you got involved because of your daughter, but what made you decide to get more involved and get on the board?
You know, I think it was probably a number of reasons, but I've always had the most wonderful connection with my daughter, and this is just something that I always felt passionate about. She wasn't diagnosed until she was 9 years old, and so it was all very new to us and fresh, and I really wanted to not only be here with her, but I wanted to actually give more to all the new people that I've met.
And tell me a little bit about your daughter. When you just said she was diagnosed at 9, how did that impact your family?
I think the impact was just it was a relief because all of a sudden we kind of knew what we had been struggling with medical issues since she was born, and we didn't have that with our son. So it was kind of a new experience. She was born very sickly. She had some really bad reflux. She had some surgeries and time in the hospital, and it was a new experience for us. And none of the doctors could tell us why this was, and she was never diagnosed before. She dropped off the growth curve, I think, before she ever entered school, and our pediatrician never kind of batted an eye at it. So I assume that she really didn't even know about or wasn't exposed to Turner's or what to look for. And it wasn't until she was this bouncy, hyperactive, diagnosed ADHD child that's bouncing all over the classroom for years, just always being called in for conferences, that we took her to a psychiatrist to explore medication for that. And the psychiatrist saw something in her facial features that just looked a little bit off, and that we should get some genetic testing. And so we did that, and it came back Turner syndrome. And then once we frantically, like every parent who just learns about it, frantically scour the internet trying to get some information on it, start piecing together, what is Turner syndrome. Then we looked back, and then we can start to understand why she was going through the things she was going through.
Tell me something special about your daughter. What? Because I know tell us about her acting, singing.
Samantha sings. She has a passion for singing, for theatrics, for anything that puts her out there. It's almost like she's got a duality. She loves to be out there and on the center stage, but yet she's also kind of this, at times or in certain situations, she's very fade into the background. So I think the theater and the singing gives her a place where she can get out and excel, and she's really wonderful and passionate about it. She's some of the performances she's done here at the talent show just brought me to tears. And then I think the other thing about Samantha is just that she's probably at least in my life, probably the most caring person that I know. And she is absolutely the light of my life.
What was the toughest part about finding out that she had Turner syndrome and dealing with kind of the diagnosis and as a dad?
Well, as a dad or as a parent, I think we initially felt like, like we failed her somehow. With education, you learn that that's not your fault, and so that kind of goes away. Let's try this again.
No, you're doing fine. What do you see for Sam's future? What do you see her doing in the next 10 years? And do you feel that she's limited or that the world's at her feet? How do you feel her life's going to be?
I think that Sam sees herself. She's gone through. You know, I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to be a doctor. She's now kind of settling in on maybe the idea of psychology, psychiatry, even Chinese medicine. My brother is a doctor of Chinese medicine, so she's got an exposure to that. So she's entering 11th grade. She's come off kind of a difficult year with school because of her theater schedule. so she's going to have to buckle down, and get a little bit better on the grades. But I think she's starting to focus in on where she wants to go. And once, when Sam has a focus, I mean, she is dedicated to it. Right now it's about theater and friends, but she'll graduate, and like all of us, all of a sudden, you're faced with life. And so once that happens, I think she's, whether it's psychology or something else, I don't think there's anything that's really going to stop her from getting there. She's a very bright, intelligent, extremely vivacious personality, and she will do well. She will do well. I really have all the confidence in her in the world.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we go?
Just that, for as, I guess one of the things I was going to say about the difficulties of the diagnosis, and that I think a lot of people are faced with is all of a sudden, once you're diagnosed with Turner's, the overwhelming amount of doctor's appointments and everything that you do. And it's been great to watch her blossom into a young woman to, now we go to the endocrinologist, and I laugh and joke with the doctor, but I don't really deal with specific issues because Samantha can take care of that. She's almost 16. She's very on top of her own things. There's things that she's told me about her body changing, and we don't discuss it anymore. But I know it's happening, and so now she discusses it with her doctor, and so it's wonderful watching her grow into an adult in that way. And I see her as an adult, and it's a wonderful thing.